All right, I'm going to show you how to predictably grow your business as a financial, investment, insurance, or lending advisor by consistently setting 11 to 22 qualified virtual appointments every single month. And the keywords here is predictable and consistent. This is not something that's just going to work for a few months and then just die down. This will literally fill up your calendar every single month moving forward in your business. Now, I'm also going to be sharing with you why social media prospecting over LinkedIn is the leading lead generation strategy for advisors when it comes to establishing a consistent sales funnel and how to leverage that to have a massive amount of opportunities. Guys, LinkedIn is a gold mine. And I'm going to share with you why most advisors fail at generating clients consistently and the exact step-by-step process to generate a massive pipeline of highly qualified appointments with key decision makers. And I'm obviously going to talk to you a lot more about our SLS framework, but it's a combination between strategy, lead generation, and sales processes that will have pre-qualified prospects reaching out to you. Now, why should you continue listening to me? I'm a financial planner by profession. I have a bachelor's degree in business and a master's degree in financial planning. I finished top 20 financial planners my last year being a financial planner. I launched and scaled my first e-commerce startup to 7 figures in 18 months. I've also invested north of 50K plus to learn from some of the best, and I became a LinkedIn, digital marketing, lead generation, and remote sales expert. I learned from, I'm pretty sure you recognize some of these names here, Sam Ovens, Nathaniel Beebe, Jordan Belfort, Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, just to name a few, and there's definitely a lot more on the list. I also grew Lux Sales Consulting to 7 figures selling remotely using our own SLS framework. And we have a strong and proven track record already. And we're on track to disrupt the sales training for financial professionals. I also have my financial planning designation. I got my CSI certificate, so my DFOL, my CSC, and I also have a bachelor's of commerce and I majored in accounting as well. But let me ask you this. I'm pretty sure you've been primarily relying on your own network, referrals, and maybe a few center of influences to fill up your pipeline. And if you're wondering how to maybe generate an additional amount of qualified leads that is a little bit more consistent and sustainable than only being at the mercy of referrals and your own network and COIs, and you're probably maybe spending a lot more time prospecting and not enough time closing business. And if you're scratching your head as to how to generate business virtually in this completely unique environment that we're in, and where almost face-to-face meetings are almost impossible to do, well, you're at the right place. Now, I'm gonna go over quickly some of the common lead generation strategies. I'm gonna start with the ones on top, the ones who have molded our industry for the last 100 years, 200 years, right? Word of mouth, cold calling, asking for referrals, seminars, emails, center of influences. You know, I don't need to spend any time on this. I'm pretty sure you've been using that back then, and you're probably maybe still trying to dabble with these right now. At the bottom, you have a little bit more of advanced strategies. They're mostly referred to as digital lead generation strategies, such as buying third-party leads from other companies, such as using maybe Facebook, Instagram, or Google for paid advertising. I personally use all of those at the bottom there, and I've never had a positive ROI. And if you're using them, I'm pretty sure you can relate. So let me tell you what LinkedIn is actually the new king when it comes to lead generation. LinkedIn has 575 million users, and its goal is to get to 3 billion users eventually. Microsoft was bought by LinkedIn in 2016, and they're honestly dumping massive amount of resources in order to grow its user-based platform month after month, year after year. And LinkedIn is 277% more effective than lead generation than any other social media platform out there. It actually makes up 80% of all B2B lead generation on the internet. And LinkedIn's marketing solution blog reported that 61 million LinkedIn users are senior level influencers and 40 million are in the decision-making positions. So it's huge opportunity. So what if you're already using LinkedIn? Because I know some of you are already doing it, right? So here's the thing. Maybe some of you don't have enough expertise or no guidance, right? I'll tell you something. A successful lead generation campaign is a robust and systematic process that requires experience and expert advice. A lot of details can be overlooked and underestimated, which ultimately ends up by being a waste of time and there's no ROI, right? And a lot of the people I'm seeing have poor outreach methods. So not having a bulletproof follow-up system to re-engage unresponsive prospects. LinkedIn is a pretty complicated structure in when it comes to lead generation. And just try different things in the book sometimes does not yield an ROI. So niching, positioning, and messaging, something that is key in order to get results on LinkedIn. These three components are the main drivers to a successful campaign, and I see very few advisors that have it on point. Establishing all of these three in a perfect manner has been proven to be a successful framework. And content creation gurus, I see this almost on every call. Tons of advisors spend countless hours towards branding, visibility with the creation of content on LinkedIn that simply don't translate into appointments. You're not trying to become the next Gary Vee guys here, right? The bloodline of your business is appointments. And if you're doing content creation, you know very well that this does not translate into appointments. And a lot of you are only using LinkedIn. You need to have a multi-channel approach, and relying on only one single channel to get appointments is not sufficient. So let's rewind a little bit, right? Talk a little bit about my background. So this is me, financial planner back then at the Bank of Montreal. In 2016 is when I left my career, but I probably worked in the wealth management industry for about 6 years. I got all my certifications in order to be a financial planner. And in the role back then, the way that my manager taught me to be a successful financial planner was the same strategies that were being used 100 years ago, right? So I had to do 100 calls a day, 100 emails, all these seminars, creating events. And I just never found that consistency. Every single month, every single quarter I was starting was always a question mark. Where is my next client coming from? Now listen, I was a brute back then, right? So I did whatever it took in order to do these calls, to reach my quotas, right? That's the reason why I kind of finished top financial planners back then, but I knew they had a better way in order to do so. So here's the thing, I finally quit in 2016. And the main reason why I quit, guys, because a lot of people ask me that. So me, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I had made decent amount of cash working as a financial planner, and I've always wanted to fulfill a dream of mine, to start a business from complete scratch. So that's exactly what I've done, right? And fast forward 6 years later, I've created about 4 to 5 different startups, 2 of them that were very successful, but every single company I've ever created, I was always in charge of lead generation, right? And that's what got me to where I am today. So I had 2 options when I had built this SLS framework. I could always go back as a financial planner, and I knew I had some type of secret sauce. I knew that I could go back and build my financial planning practice myself and bring it to new heights that I've never was able to get it to before. Or option number 2, right? I wanted to bring my newfound knowledge and help advisors worldwide, right? And for me, that has a much deeper calling than the first option. So I founded Lux Sales Consulting, and I've helped multiple businesses scale with this SLS framework in their business. And we only work with financial service professionals, right? And I've scaled Lux Sales Consulting to 7 figures with this exact SLS framework. I literally practice what I preach. I don't rely on anything else. This is the main core of my business growth. And our track record is super strong. We have over 150 clients right now using our SLS framework. We have over 25 plus leading financial service institutions under our belt. And we are currently on track to disrupt the sales training for financial service professionals worldwide. And our track record, as I mentioned, this is not something that's new. It's been proven. We have tons and tons of success stories like Rick here, who closed over 45K in premium in his first 30 days of launch. Robert has a whole team of advisors that were able to generate 50 plus appointments month after month. Or Cizan on the right here that closed 2.5 million AUM, made over 45K of income in just a few months. And there are tons and tons and tons of other testimonials. And all of these ones here, you'll be able to find them right under this video. So all you gotta do is scroll down and you'll be able to see all of them on our page. Now, Lux Sales Consulting, where are we going with this? What's the problem we're trying to solve? The sales training for financial service industry for financial professionals does not provide the most efficient resources for advisors to reach the success they truly seek. Guys, we're in a completely different environment. What's being taught 100 years ago is still being taught right now as the mean to be successful. And a lot of you are relying on these old strategies and you're seeing how ineffective they are. So our vision is to become the Earth's go-to sales training curriculum for all financial service professionals. And I want this to be accessible to anywhere and available to everyone in need. And our mission is to help every single advisor anywhere successfully create and grow a financial service business in this environment that we're in right now. So who is our SLS framework for? So if you're a financial, insurance, lending advisor, or anywhere in between, and you're within any of the 4 categories below, so either you're an experienced advisor, you already got a decent book of business, and you just want to take your business to new heights maybe, or even if you're a long-term professional, right? And that you maybe just want to work a more balanced work life and still have some type of growth in your business. Even if you're a new advisor, just getting started out, and you don't want to go to trial and error. You want something that's proven, that can catapult your business so that you're not going through trial and error and you're not stressing about what's working and what's not. And even if you're an established agency owner and you have a team of advisors and you're looking for them to leverage this, well, this is definitely for you. So here's the thing, you also have to be looking to move away from the traditional time-consuming advisory model to a more refined, predictable, consistent, and nationwide virtual business structure. You have to be also willing and open to adapt to a new way to get clients and close business. And obviously, you need to be willing and open to invest both time and money to dedicate into the implementation of this framework. Literally, whatever you put in, you will get out of this. So there needs to be some type of commitment from you as well. Now, from here, there are 2 paths for you, right? The first one is the trial and error path, right? So you might waste years going through trial and error, testing strategy after strategy, just like I did over the last few years, until you generate maybe below average results, right? And you're probably going to be confused and stressed because let's face it, the ambiguity of not knowing where your next clients come from is not that easy to bear, right? By not being able to have a laser focus on one main thing and keeping that main thing, the foundation of your business growth, is absolutely crucial. So you're probably going to be wasting thousands of dollars, right? Not even including your time spent into this. So you're probably going to be spending on paid advertising because there's so many marketing companies out there that think that actually works for financial advisors. You may try other marketing initiatives, getting you poor leads and having you glued to the phone, having more to qualify than to close, right? And spam people, annoy people by being way too pushy. People won't see you as a trusted advisor and they're just going to see you as another generalist trying to push products down their throats. And that's not the position you want to be in. And creating good, feel-good content, I've already talked about this later, but this is not the path to grow your practice, all right? So creating videos, blog posts, thinking it will generate meetings, just forget about that. And you're going to fall behind on your competitors. More and more advisors are hopping on our SLS framework and transforming their practice, right? It may not be a hidden gem anymore, but it still is. So, or what's the second path, right? The SLS framework proven path. No trial and error, right? So volume, you're gonna be able to fill your calendar with 11 to 22 qualified virtual appointments with predictability and consistency month after month. And the quality, guys, highly qualified prospects that know you, trust you, and are open to hear from you prior to even having their first call with you. That is crucial in a virtual business structure. And it's inexpensive, guys. It's 100% organic system. And what that means is that you don't need to spend. You're going to be spending close to $0 in order to get leads every single month, right? There's no paid advertising in this. And you're going to be able to become finally a market authority. We call it as the specialist position or ultimately the trusted advisor. You're only going to be able to meet and work with clients that you truly want to work with and that you truly enjoy working with, that are worth the involvement of your time. Niching is one of the most powerful things you can do in your business. And you're going to be able to finally become a virtual advisor, right? Cut down time on commute, spend more time with family, live a more home work balanced lifestyle, and actually work remote from any location you want, right? And you're going to be able to leverage our expertise. You're going to be able to save tons of time by approving literally everything you do through experts on our weekly live Q&A calls. We've been using this for a long time, and we've helped so many advisors and businesses use this that we are almost going to be mentors to you, helping you along this journey. Now, the SLS framework, right? So what is it? So it's three strategies, three components: strategy, lead generation, and sales, right? And the first thing we're going to start off with is actually strategy, because that's the most important component to a successful lead generation campaign. So we're going to help you with the niching, help you with the messaging, but think of this as strategizing who we're going to be going after and how we're going to be approaching them and having all our messages ready for them. Because once that's figured out, we're going to jump into the lead generation components. That's when we're going to be starting to pump appointments on your calendar day after day, week after week. And once these leads and conversations and start coming in, well, guess what? The last component is sales processes. We're going to equip you with a robust sales processes that has proven to increase your closing rates and will allow you to close business virtually. So let me dive a lot deeper into these three components. So strategizing, right? I mentioned that before. We're going to help you identify your ideal niche, and we're going to help you craft all your nerve-striking messages ahead of time, right? We're going to actually provide you with our own proprietary niche selection process. I've invested substantial amount of resources so that we have our own proprietary niche selection process in our program that you'll be able to use to identify your ideal and, most importantly, profitable niches on LinkedIn. And you'll be able to know the step-by-step process to begin as a niche specialist, and you're going to be able to climb all the way up to become a market authority, having your ideal qualified leads reach out to you. Now listen to me. One of the most successful wealth management firms, financial firms, insurance firms, they usually always have specialties, right? They always have niches. This is not only true to our industry, but some of the most successful businesses out there across multiple industries, they understand that niching down is super powerful. Move away from the generalist. Move away from the just another salesperson, being seen like another salesperson, and claim your authority status. That's what we're going to help you do here. And we're going to be able to give you the best market research framework to dig deep and uncover your niche's pain points and desires so that you can actually stand out from the pack as a market authority, right? And you're going to be able to use our own SLS framework messaging workbook. We will reveal everything you need to know, our secret messaging framework to craft all your nerve-striking messages, right? So no figuring out, there's no ambiguity in this. I've been battle testing messages for the last 4 years, and I will equip you with a framework to follow exactly. So these are just some of the things we're going to help you with. On the left, some trust-based targeting, which is primarily around the niching selection, messaging on the right, and I will equip you with our sales SLS framework funnel, right? So second, lead generation. That's when you're going to start loading the strategizing into our LinkedIn appointment generation system. We're going to set you up with the best LinkedIn profile optimization process, having you command authority. Again, having leads wanting to reach out to you. I cannot highlight how important your LinkedIn profile is. I see so many advisors that use it as a CV. It's not. In fact, your LinkedIn profile is actually your website. It's even more important than your website, and I will help you fully optimize your LinkedIn profile. And we're going to be able to show you how to leverage LinkedIn to generate extremely accurate lead lists from your chosen niche, right? It's one of the most cost-effective lead generation platform out there. And you're going to be able to access our own proprietary cloud-based LinkedIn system. It will do all the heavy lifting so that you can focus on what really matters. And it is actually also integrated with the most powerful LinkedIn pipeline management system to keep track of all your leads and their data in a tightly sealed funnel. So we have some amazing and robust systems that will equip you with as well. And you're going to be able to leverage our unique and nerve-striking warm email and form scripts in order to generate even more appointments on top of LinkedIn lead generation. So we don't only rely on LinkedIn. Let me make this very clear, right? And those are just some of the images that we use of some of the systems. You'll be able to have very accurate data, always tracking your month's data. KPIs are super important in this, and our systems really track all of this for you. Thirdly, sales processes. We're going to show you how to take your LinkedIn conversations and actually turn them into closed clients, right? You're going to be able to learn the best messaging sequence in order to start booking calls like a machine, after generating responses from leads. You're going to be able to also learn how to handle rebuttals, how to drive and position your conversations to book at least 11 to 22 appointments per month, right? And here's the thing. A lot of advisors are able to start or get connections on LinkedIn, conversations on LinkedIn, get leads, but we don't stop there. We're also going to equip you with everything you need to know. So even the messages, after you start getting these conversations and these leads, everything will be laid out for you. So you can actually do this in a systematic process. I cannot highlight enough. This is a numbers game, and the only way you're going to be able to get a substantial, consistent, and predictable ROI is if you have a process for literally everything, and that's what we're going to be able to do. You're going to be able to implement and leverage our 3 to 4 call closing process using our proprietary sales closing scripts. These have been proven, tested, and they will increase your closing rates. So you're going to be able to turn your first, second, third call into a predictable, repeatable, linear process that can actually you'll be able to fine tune it over time to close even more business. And you're going to be able to effectively be able to sell over the phone and Zoom, basically sell virtually. And you're going to be able to also retarget leads who haven't responded on LinkedIn using our warm email outreach approach. And by the way, we're also going to be able to leverage not only through email, but this is going to be able to give you the ability to also use SMS and calling. So as a quick reminder, we have an omni-channel approach to lead generation. I've mentioned that before, but I need to highlight it again. We don't only rely on LinkedIn messages, guys. Our system will give you the ability to use LinkedIn messages, warm email, warm SMS, and warm calling, so you can maximize appointments on your calendar. And you're going to be able to track all your progress, right? And results on a proprietary spreadsheets. KPIs are super crucial in a system like this. And we're going to be able to look at that spreadsheet together to determine if you're optimally running the SLS framework. And we can even reverse engineer to the success you want, because KPIs are key to projections. And once you have a proven blueprint, you can actually start duplicating that to other partners or the people on your team and so forth. And those are just some of the things that we'll equip you with. So scripts, this is how your calendar can maybe look like once you got the system up and running, but honestly, very, very robust sales processes that we have as well. Now, how can you take advantage of it, right? So back then, the only service available was a done-for-you service, meaning advisors would hire us and we would do the SLS framework for them, right? There would be a monthly retainer. Every single month you're getting dinged an expense, and it's a hands-off approach, meaning you're not really implicated in all of this and you're not really knowing what happens, right? Where you're doing everything in the back end. But here's the thing, for the first time ever, I started teaching this SLS framework and I opened our implementation program, right? And the main advantage of this, guys, is the ROI. It's a one-time investment. No reoccurring fees, right? So you're looking to close a few deals, get back your initial investment, but then you're literally in the green, moving forward for life, right? And you're in full control of the system. Regardless whether you stay at the company you're at right now, move to the independent route, or literally whatever happens to you, guess what? You will have the system under your hands and it will move wherever you go. So what is this SLS framework? Mastermind, right? The way you successfully implement this is by coming into our mastermind. So you're gonna get 3 things in return. The first thing you're gonna get is the access to the online modules. Think of this as an online course and university, split between a combination between videos and some worksheets, and you'll have access to that for a lifetime. You will also get access to our weekly Q&A calls. Every single week, twice a week, we hold calls for you, so you're never gonna feel alone in this whole process. And you will also have your own dedicated success manager who will meet with you at the beginning, set a game plan for you, and also meet you at the end of your game plan period. We are super, super implicated in your learning process because we want to make sure you build it right and we want to make sure you get the ROI you're looking for. This is the content portal. So it's again, as I mentioned to you, just think of this as an online university course. You're going to be able to watch some videos and just do some worksheets. It's usually always a combination between these 2 things. So you're watching and you're doing work. You're also going to be able to get one-on-one an onboarding call. As I mentioned to you, you're going to get your own dedicated success manager. You're going to be able to also find other accountability partners. So we're signing up clients every single week, and you're actually going to be able to be paired up with other people that are doing the exact same thing as you. So you can actually have an accountability partner. We hold, as I mentioned to you before, 2 weekly live Q&As where we assist advisors on a one-on-one basis. Additionally, you're going to get lifetime and instant access to all our course material. That will never go away. You're gonna get actionable worksheets, obviously to help you build the whole thing. Lifetime access to our Facebook community. That's super, super big, guys, because it's full of hungry A-player advisors. I'm building this community so I can create a synergy of top 1% advisors. I want to keep us always on top of our game year after year moving forward, and you have a lifetime access to that in there. You will also have access to all future updates, because what works now may not work later. I literally have a team member that's dedicated strictly to innovation, right? And we're consistently scanning changes in the market, and we're going to continuously equip you with what works. And obviously, I'm also going to be sharing with you some of the latest cutting edge strategies. In our Facebook group, I share certain strategies that advisors can leverage and implement right away in order to yield results and close business. So if you're seeing this video now, guys, go ahead and do whatever it takes to enroll. Enroll and claim your unfair advantage. I can guarantee you that this will be the highest ROI you can ever do in your business. And you know how I know this stuff works? When the economy crashed in March last year, and seeing our economy still being affected up until now, our clients are still crushing it. And this is not a nice to have, guys. This is a need to have in your business. I've been on this road for the last 4 years to try to find what is the most efficient way for financial service professionals to grow their business. I've went through trial and error. I've spent countless amount of money so that you don't have to, right? And in the right hands, this can make a massive, massive ROI. So enough said from me, right? If you already have a strategy session booked, then great. And if you don't, well, now you know what to do. In our strategy session, I'm gonna dive a lot deeper into our program, share with you a lot more details, share with you the pricing structure, and if it's a good fit for both of us, you'll potentially have the opportunity to join our academy. And does it work, right? You're probably thinking that you may be skeptical about this whole thing, right? I can probably sit here all day and pump you up about how great this SLS framework is, right? Because I'm using it in my business and I'm witnessing it day after day how it works, right? But enough said from me. Moving forward in this video, you're going to be able to see some of the experiences, success stories, testimonials from a lot of our clients that are in a similar situation as you. So go ahead and watch these, and if you want to see more testimonials, again, they're under this video. But I appreciate your time and have a blessed rest of the day. Cheers.
I had like a $3 million prospect, which from the people I'm targeting, that's pretty big. I know it's all relative, but as a financial advisor in my area, it's a pretty big prospect, and came entirely through the automated process. I don't think I even ever replied to them through Ulink. I just saw a Calendly appointment appear, and I messaged them and said, thanks for scheduling an appointment. And went through the system, and it looks like they're going to become a client. So, I mean,
Congratulations.
yeah, it's just funny how, because some of them you work harder than others, or you start little conversations, and this one was just like I did almost nothing.
I'm proud to say that I have generated over 100 virtual appointments with prospects through using this SLS framework mastermind, and have been able to generate around 45,000 in income. We'll just get busy closing business like how I have been. I really meant to make this video for quite some time, but I have just been busier with my work, because the framework that I've followed has kept me so busy to generate more leads, more calls.
Going on 35 years. And every year you can still learn new things. The world has changed, the way we do business, and this is the wave of the future. You got to be out there doing this. You can't go drive and see a client anymore. And I'm licensed in all 50 states, so now I'm actually getting business in all 50 states because of this. So I'm happy to be able to expand my market. And although I like sitting in front of clients, it's nice sometimes to not have to drive an hour to go sit for a half-hour meeting and then drive back an hour. It's nice to have 3 meetings in an hour and maybe close a deal. But it's just a new way of doing business. I mean, there's a lot of young producers out there that should be doing some of this stuff as well. I've got a benefit that I have a large referral base, but I still need to do something else. And this seems like the best way to do it. It's consistent. You can see what the heck's going on every day. As long as you do the work, it's going to work for you.
Two things made me really realize having a niche is going to be critically important for success on LinkedIn was just how focused you guys are on having a niche, and then just really letting myself be open to the idea that, yeah, okay, stop thinking that you've got things figured out. Stop thinking that the way you're doing things is the best way, because there's always another way. And since finding a niche, I literally cannot keep up to the LinkedIn messages that I'm getting back. So that's a lot of evidence that it's working.
I've spent a few years trying to figure this stuff surrounding LinkedIn about, and what the SLS framework does is lays it out clear, concise, with a lot of thought. There's a lot of detail that goes into it, and it gives you a pathway to follow to be able to execute properly. So if you're on the edge, I would say you just want to take that next step and hop over the edge.
I think the first deal that I wrote completely virtually online was an eye opener, because I'm old school and it's always been face to face, and and I was able to do it, and it was simple. It was very easy. So the two insurance deals that I closed, I did it completely virtually. I did the applications online, all the signatures were online, so it's a beautiful thing because you could really work from anywhere, which I like. I wake up in the morning, I have this morning I woke up, I had 12 LinkedIn messages, people responding back to the automated messages. Sometimes I wake up, I have appointments booked on my calendar, I don't even know who they are, and it's a beautiful thing.
You can do many investments in your life. You can invest a couple grand in stocks, real estate, or even crypto, whatever. But the best investment you can make is in yourself. The best ROI you can ever make is investment in yourself. And a good course like this or a good book will always give you a best return on investments. And when I joined the course, I just did the math. Like I did, okay, so if the course helps me bring 1 million new assets to 2 million new assets, that will take not even a year to pay back the courses. So it wasn't like a good deal for me, and then such a great return on investments I could make for the rest of my life. So I mean, that's the best ROI I'm looking for here, and this is why I joined it.
To me, it's an investment. I figure I need one client to pay for this entire course. So, and I know there are 600 million people on LinkedIn. So I'm looking for basically 25 guys. There's no system on LinkedIn. You can get on LinkedIn, you just send out an invite, hope that people respond. There's no structure. So this is structured, it's methodical, it's repeatable, and it's scalable, which is everything that we want in our practice. Because when we manage our portfolios, we had a new client, we have models, we put them in the model, and we want to be scalable and predictable and repeatable and also referable.
If you're looking for phenomenal results and are willing to do a little bit of work on the front end, the investment will pay for itself in spades.
I was looking to connect with a particular niche, in this case, medical professionals, and it was just something where I didn't have the tools to go out and basically go after that niche. And the SLS framework essentially streamlined the process, and with very powerful means was getting me those connections, getting me those conversations, and ultimately setting me up to have those initial meetings on the table. So certainly something that I didn't expect to happen so rapidly, but obviously this is a process, and one that the numbers speak for themselves.
Frankly, for the money spent on the course plus the time I put into it, if that alone were to come out of it, just because the scope of what he asked me to do is it's reasonable, it'd be a good win.
The power of the profile optimization is incredible. I sent 150 manual requests on Monday of this week, and I got 50 replies easily by Wednesday. 2 of them requested meetings on their own after looking at my profile. So I had appointments. They saw my profile and they were interested and said, here's my phone number, please call me.
Having all that process laid out in front of you, it's a little bit like a plug and play in a way where, you know, these are all the steps. Now you just kind of need to figure out who do you want to work with, who do you want to attract. So that's going to be a little bit more of a personal thing that you need to figure out. But again, you know, the whole SLS framework kind of guides you through that. So it's, I mean, that's huge.
I look at ROI as a business person. As a businessman, I say, okay, from probably one sale, this will pay for my expenses of the courses multiple times.
Still haven't that sunk in really just yet. That are you telling me that whatever my niche is, it's not where I live? It's going to be virtual. I mean, whoever I can target around the country. I mean, what?
It's
So,
like a different ball game.
I'm telling you, it is, and I could choose not to go down this road, or I could choose to go down this road, and I'm telling you, just I love it. I mean, for so many reasons, but you know, virtual, national, and I have the framework to make it happen.
I've been in, like, I don't know what you call it, shock or awe, whatever word you want to use, but I've been like, what? Did that just happen? Like, you know, like, you know, I've been doing all this work, obviously trying to market research, building my profile, everything that we've been doing until all this time to get to this point. And then when it actually like clicks, it's like, oh shit, like, okay, I guess this is it.
You have a lot of stuff going on, and it was a good couple of months, had a lot of clients, got some referrals that kind of came in, just kind of some organic growth that happened. I had to sidestep some of this other stuff, which has been really great that this can be a kind of when you need it. You know, if I was paying a monthly subscription to like lead gen or something like that, I would have wasted like, you know, hundreds of dollars in months that I didn't have the time to pay attention to it. So it ended up being a pretty good, you know, reminder that this is a good format for me.
I've paid thousands of dollars for professional coaches and coaching, and it's only week 2, and I can't believe how much he packed into 2 weeks of knowledge and insight.
It's all practical. None of this is theoretical. This is not like a graduate course or a third-year physics course. There's nothing theoretical about this. This is all practical. This is all oriented towards results.